Hi, I'm Kathy Dodson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. Welcome to another episode of 5 Minute Indie Insights, publishing tips and tricks in 5 minutes because that's as long as we want to talk to you.
Okay. Do you plan on selling your book to the public? Yes? Then you are starting a business and you need a storefront where people can find you.
Wait a minute. A storefront where people can find me. I don't want people coming to my home. I don't want to have to deal with people in person. Half the reason that I work from home is so that I don't have to interact with anybody. I don't want a storefront, Kathy. Nope.
Take a breath. It's the 2020s.
Oh.
You don't need a physical space for people to find you. You need a piece of virtual real estate.
Well, in that case, I want beachfront virtual real estate. But I guess if it's virtual, I can, yeah. So I guess I gotta need a website. So, and if I need a website, you need a website, all authors need websites. And that sounds really daunting, but you may not be ready for a website. You may be still writing. But, if you're not ready for a website, you do not have to build one right away. No problem. But you want that beachfront property, you should purchase that real estate now because someday you're going to want to build on it.
That's right. So what's this real estate, this virtual real estate we're talking about? It's a URL. And if you don't have one already, buy one today.
Yes, buy it because your URL is your internet address. It's the www.yourname.com, and it's how people are going to find you. It's where they find you when they plug your name into the address bar. And why we're saying you need to buy one today is because your name could disappear. It's kind of like going to Costco. You want something and it's gone. I tried to get jlindsay.com for years, and I thought about it for months, and it disappeared, and it has been locked up for the last like 15 plus years. It's gone. So the advantage though is when you're ready to buy it, you can buy a URL almost anywhere. Google, GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator. The list is almost endless. And if you're not planning to build it immediately, like we said, buy it and park it. That URL can just hang out until you're ready.
Yep. The way you buy your URL is you go to one of these sites and you type in the URL you want, like your name, and your name the way it's going to be on your books, right? So like mine is katherinedodson.com because that's the name I use on my books. If you're using a pen name, you got to buy that name. If you're putting in an initial, you want to try and do that. So if you have an unusual name, it might be available. If not, you're probably going to have to modify it.
Yeah. Jocelyn Lindsay was available when I wanted it. But I turned Jocelyn Lindsay into my book coaching site. It is not my author site. So since I already owned Jocelyn Lindsay, I couldn't own it again for both of them. I want to keep my book coaching and my author site separate from each other. So I had to figure something else out. And if your name is taken, you can try adding author before or after. Some people use writer, some people use writes. You can use a middle initial. What I did is my author website is now jocelynlindsayauthor.com. And that has that URL to my writing. But again, like Kathy just said, you want it to look like as close as you can to what your publishing name is going to be.
Right. And when you find the URL that you're happy with, buy it now. Do not wait. Also, when you're going through this, do not buy the millions of products they try to sell you to go along with your author name, like for security protection or website development. They're going to throw all kinds of things at you. Just buy that URL. You can buy all that, anything else you want later. The URL will probably cost you between $15 and $25 per year. Sometimes you can find a deal, especially if you buy it for multiple years. Frankly, you're probably going to have this thing a long time. I've had my name URL for since the 90s.
Yeah.
So, and you don't need all that other stuff. Go cheap. You can always do the add-ons later.
Yeah, and wherever you buy your URL is not necessarily where your website's going to be hosted. All you're doing is parking that URL. You may decide to build your website somewhere else, you can move it. Right now, buy it, you have it, it's in the pocket, you don't have to think about it later. The one thing you will have to do is you're going to have to pay registration fees for that URL every year. But it's not very much. And in return, you're going to own your own virtual real estate. And that's going to help you become a platform for your author career. So if you don't already own your URL, buy it today, go do that right now, and then get back to writing because that's exactly what we're going to go do. Bye.
Bye.